So, my question is, which one am I? Am I a man-child or am I a kid at heart? Think about it.
Bed. Love.
Bed. Love.
Beyond.
Bed, love, beyond.
Bed, love, beyond.
Hey, welcome to Bed Love Beyond, the podcast for the hopeful and the hater in us to discuss sex, love, and whatever's clever with like-minded people like you who are also in limbo with love.
Like us.
I'm Martini.
I am Jennifer.
Why can't I hear you?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I'm Jennifer still.
There we go.
With a-
Today's episode is episode 116, Man-Child / Kid at Heart, Admiring or Adult Wanted. If you have a topic you want us to explore or have any questions you want to ask, you can write to us at
bedlovebeyond@gmail.com.
or you can text us at
I don't know the number.
201-862-8BED. That is 201-862-8233. And the reason why Jennifer is in a good mood is because one of her favorite guests is here.
Yeah.
And this is her 5th appearance on the show, which makes her the 3rd in line.
For the title.
Yeah, for the title, sure. The 3rd most person to visit our lovely little podcast, Brigid.
Woo, what's up, everybody?
What's going on? How you doing?
Good.
Bridget brings out the best of me. Oh no, you're sick.
I'm a little sniffly, so I apologize if I cough on all of you.
Oh man.
You'll be all right. Okay. So, before we get into Daily Dish and the topic at hand,
I would like to make an announcement.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I learned how to comment back on Podbean finally.
And that's what we were gonna get to, because that was one of the last things that I needed to put on this list, so I didn't forget. And I'm like, I need to write down these questions and present it to the podcast. And I'm like, where are all these replies coming from? And I'm like, what? Jennifer replied to all these? I didn't even know you could do that. So
I know, I learned.
all right, way to go. That's good. And I was glad that you were honest and all that stuff. So that was pretty good. I mean, we'll read it.
What am I gonna lie?
Not live, no. But when you hear, you heard them. But when the audience hears the questions and your replies, people are gonna be like, "Wow, go Jen."
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were deep. But before we get into that, we have a reader email, and this is a response to the episode 73.
2008.
Episode 73, which was
But thank you for writing.
yeah, insult then praise.
Conditioning 101.
And it was the episode where it was should you date out what? Can you understand I forgot the title
It's
of it.
interracial dating one.
Yeah, it was interracial
Zane
dating.
and Erica.
Yes, it was, I know which
From
episode
Chicago.
it was, but it was like, could you
They're interracial as fuck.
yes.
That's what they said.
But it was
I
about
know.
should you date, can you understand your
Partner's culture.
your partner's struggle,
struggle. Culture.
so if you're white, can you understand your partner struggle?
Do you understand all our white privilege?
So the person says, "Hello, BLB. I'm DeAndre. Episode 73 was centered around a statement made by Dr. Umar Johnson. He said that when a black man marries a white woman, that's a political statement to the black community. Umar said that a white person could never understand a black man's struggle. Dr. Umar is just part of the militant mindset from a segment of the black community. These woke people, conscious people, Pan-Africanists, pro-black, etc., they like to dictate how other black people should live life and believe in. And if you don't, then you're a coon, Uncle Tom, Negro bedwench, sellout, etc. I'm a black man. I used to have a bit of that mindset, but I was never totally immersed in it. The reason that I got out of it was because it promoted nothing except empty rhetoric, a victim mentality among blacks, a pack mentality among gullible people, no free thinking, and refused to see the humanity in non-black people. All in all, it's people's own business who they date, fuck, or marry.
Damn. I got
You-
deep real quick.
You're not hurting the race because you have a preference or no preference. Black militants make it seem as white women who like black men are stealing from black women, and black men who are open to anything are sellouts and hate black women, and altogether bad people. Jennifer says she prefers black men. Martini is open to anything. They both sound like good people to me. As for me, I'm open.
DeAndre.
As for me, I'm open to many races, but that doesn't rule out black women. I was in an interracial relationship with an Asian woman. After it ended, the next 2 women I dated were black. Nothing political about it. I'm just a man who likes beautiful women regardless of race.
Thank you, DeAndre.
So there you go.
I enjoyed that.
I enjoyed that. Oh, man.
Any comments, thoughts, Martini?
Thank you for writing, DeAndre. And I mean, I don't know what I said on the podcast, but I'm sure it was just truthful stuff. Just like, date whoever you freaking date. Like I've dated many, whatever cultures, races, creeds, backgrounds, blah, blah, blah. It's, who I like is who I like, So.
I saw this girl today who I used to work with or whatever. And, I guess, it was, always, known, oh, Jen dates black guys. Like that. I don't like that that's my thing, but whatever. I mean, it's...
You did it.
Yeah, but, if somebody were to say, what do you know about Jen? Be like, she dates black guys. That's stupid. It's just I'm more than that. I'm every woman, goddamn.
Oh, boy.
But she's like, oh, are you dating anyone? I'm like, bitch, I saw you 6 months ago. I was like, yeah, I'm still dating my boyfriend. And she's like, is he black? And I'm like, yeah. But I don't know why I feel there has to be an explanation after that. You know what I mean? But he's nice. I don't know.
He didn't try to take my money.
And she's Hispanic origin, so and she was and I was like, no, he's really nice. He's got his shit together. And I was like, he owned a house and has a bank account. Because I don't know why they feel I did. I mean, I think they all know about Brooklyn because I worked with them when I dated Brooklyn. Yeah. So she was like, you had a history of dating some struggling men there. I was like, yeah, I guess. Where the last 2 weren't bad. So I have to take credit for that.
Why are you keeping my record?
For the last half a decade, I've been doing okay.
Yeah.
Damn. I don't want to have that reputation.
Yeah.
Jennifer, the girl who dates the broke black man. What?
Damn. All right. Well, see, no, that's bad.
I don't know, or whatever.
That's a bad moniker.
Just because I dated guys from New York and they took the bus in or took the train in.
There's nothing wrong with the train.
There's really not. Jersey hating people. But yeah, I mean, date who you want to date.
Mm-hmm. You have any insight? You have any insight on that, Bridge?
I don't know. I feel like I could dive into a whole topic about it again.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's just I think date whoever. I think the problem becomes if a black man says he only dates white women,
right?
Then I can see where people would be offended by that, and
I tried to date a white guy once. He went crazy.
So the only guy I seriously dated was white, and he's freaking crazy. Pretty much everyone I've dated since then is black. So it's but I don't know. I didn't decide that I was only going to date black people. It just kind of happened.
My boyfriends in my younger days were white. Way back on the day.
Yeah, but as the adage goes.
Once you go black, I went back. I went back.
Yeah, and then you saw what happened.
Crazy.
So it's you staying on this side.
She's like, I went back. I
did. Tried.
And that was your lesson.
I was like, this doesn't feel right.
I'm out of here.
I'm not down with pink penises.
Gross.
Sorry.
No, it's so true.
Nobody needed that visual.
Wow.
Anyway.
Yeah, so as Jennifer said, she is cool with Podbean now, and she's doing comments. I mean, she's replying to people.
I'm trying.
Yes. And did you know who you were replying to?
I think RV.
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Who?
Jenika.
Really?
Yes.
I thought it was Arby.
No.
Oh, hey, Jenika.
Yeah, she said that she loves listening. Well, she likes to cast our podcast on the television while she cleans.
Okay.
So she's like, she's always yelling at the television when she wants to speak to us. Because she wants to like live speak. She's like, oh man, I wish this was live and stuff. So, and then she started like blowing up
Podbean.
Yeah, Podbean. And I was like, oh wow. So I wanted to like read some of these. Where are they? Oh yeah. So one of them was
I thought it was Arby. I don't know why.
one of them was from episode 115. Can you be stay in a celibate relationship? And she said that celibacy is a little easier for women. Men get turned on and hard, so it's harder, no pun, to stop when the heavy petting starts. That's what she said for that bit. And she said, this was in the beginning of the same episode when you were talking about your friend's the miscarriage.
Oh.
Yeah, and in your situation. And she said, Jen, sometimes it's hard to look at it from a different point of view, but you not being able to conceive eases the overwhelming feeling of thinking you're having a baby to not, or to carry one and it'll die. So there's that.
And I replied to her.
Yes, you did.
You can go to Podbean for the replies. We're not giving you everything.
She also, and I believe this was the part where we were talking about America's favorite boyfriend, Brooklyn, about how he always wants to off himself every Tuesday. So she said, I agree, suicide should be a topic. So I guess we must have put it in the ether that we should do a topic about that.
I can so be on that show.
Okay.
Do I have stories for you?
All right, so she will be on for a sixth time. Yeah, so there's that, and this one was we won't read the reply, but this one was very interesting. It was the same episode. Can you be / stay celibate in a relationship? And she says, Jen, if you're dating and decide to be celibate after being sexual, would you let your man have unemotional sex with someone else? And Jen's response was very colorful. We'll just leave it at that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so there's that. Yep.
So, anything new this week?
Is that everything?
Do I have to tell my therapist? Oh.
Yeah, that's everything.
Anything new with you, Martini?
What?
Any hoes on the... Any hoes on the horizon? That's so funny.
Both of our women are turning beet red because the audacity of Jen.
So Martini, any hoes on the horizon?
That's classic.
Hashtag hoes on the horizon.
Yeah, make it a thing, guys.
Get it trending.
No hoes on the horizon.
I meant the hose with love in the most
Yeah.
feminist way possible.
No.
Disappointment.
I stopped myself from joining eHarmony
Why?
the other day.
No.
She's like, oh no.
They discriminate against gay people.
Oh yeah, that's right. You told me about that.
Oh.
I forgot about that.
Not down with that.
So I shouldn't do it because of principle.
Yes.
What about no?
But isn't eHarmony really good?
I don't know.
Christian Mingle.
I'm half gay.
I'm not Christian.
Okay.
I'm half gay.
Yeah, it's in my lineage.
Did you do 23andMe to find that out?
Yes.
Bridget, here it says you're half gay, and I don't know.
So no hoes on the horizon.
No.
Bridget, any hoes on the horizon?
I think we're saving that for later.
No. Well, yeah, we'll save that for later. Jen, what's going on with you?
Going to a concert this week.
Okay.
What concert?
Def Leppard
Ooh.
and Journey. Just a
Oh,
small
that's good.
town girl. No, I really don't even like that song, to be honest with you. I really don't.
How can you not last like the number one wedding song? They always play that song in weddings.
Not at mine.
All right, I didn't say at yours. I'm just saying like everybody plays that there,
Since I always like whine about my boyfriend, I really feel like
and it's so gonna be there because your boyfriend's probably gonna request it.
No, I don't know if he really likes Journey. Anyway, but since I was whining about him, I should say that he's been like really working hard towards all the things that he said he was going to work on to like move us along, and I'm really proud of him.
Yay.
And I told him that today.
That's good because you were the only one who had the doubt.
I mean, we all were doubting what was happening.
Not me.
We're not getting married or anything.
All right.
We'll see.
What kind of conversation did you guys have with him up there?
Hey, don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry about it. Next time, get here on time.
We were up there a long time talking to him.
We were talking about net neutrality. In all seriousness.
Figured.
No, but I'm saying no, but like I
don't think
had
anywhere
no
in that
doubt.
conversation wedding bells came up.
But I had no doubt. Every other episode, I reassured you.
We're still not married.
Oh, it's okay.
Anyway. Oh, and I bought Comic-Con tickets.
Same.
For Friday?
No.
Did you buy Comic-Con tickets?
What
Why
the hell,
not?
man?
What is your problem?
I mean, it was only pre-sale, but
Still, get in where you fit in.
No, I'm good.
You're not
You're
going
not
at
going?
all?
No.
you
What's
went last
wrong
year.
with you?
I didn't go last year.
Was it the
2
year
years
before?
ago.
It was the year before.
What the fuck, man? How can you not know?
all the laughter turned into scowls.
That's
Jeez.
fine.
Are you going to buy them later in the process?
No, I'm not going to New York Comic Con 2018. I am not going.
What are
I'm
you?
skipping it.
Are you boycotting?
I'm not boycotting.
You
no.
got beef?
No, I'm just.
Are you avoiding somebody?
No, I'm just not going.
Is someone going to jump you?
Comic Con.
Yo, security is tighter at Comic Con than at like fucking Newark Airport. So we're,
That's true. Nah. I'm glad you guys are going though. That's good. It should be fun.
Okay.
Thursday, Saturday.
Friday. Just Friday.
Damn. Well, I don't know.
I'm really
Those
upset.
are
I don't know if
just-
I'm going to see Jason Momoa or not, though. He's going to be there.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to get anywhere
I
near
really
him.
hope Ricky Whittle's there. Ricky.
I don't know. He was there last year, so he might not be.
It'd be nice if
Why only go
Macaulay
one day,
Culkin
though?
was there.
Why only going one day?
Because I just really want to buy posters and like go home.
I feel you. Then you should do a Saturday.
Why?
Because she'll get mauled. Friday's safer as far as crowds
I mean, it's
go.
safer, but you say you want to see/meet people, and that's when they'll
I
be
mean,
there.
I'm not paying to meet anybody, so I just want to like be like, oh my god, there's
Yeah.
Jason Momoa.
Well, they also like people start coming on like Thursday and
Thursday.
Friday now, which is the reason I go Thursdays now because it's like it's not crowded and
Yeah,
there
Thursday's
end up
the dead
being-
day.
Yeah, and there end up being like really sick panels too. So I'm like all about Thursdays now. I'll take the day off and everything, but
Nice.
it's worth it.
Okay.
All right, well, what are we here to talk about?
Well, Brigid hasn't told us her daily dish, and it is quite tasty.
Martina, you don't even know it. Is so complicated.
So last time Bridget was here, she was like swiping, and there was a boy who she liked. I'm just catching myself up. Fuck everybody else. There was a boy that you used to like, and things just. He was kind of like the one who got away, right?
We dated a few years ago, and he was definitely like the one that got away.
And now.
Oh, don't get too excited. No, it was
Trust me, it twists and turns. Just wait.
I
Be
thought you
patient.
don't know.
Well, so what was?
I only know
He
like
knows
I
pieces
know
of it.
3% out of the 100% of story.
I don't know. I'd say like 50%. But,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I think it's important to just remind the audience that that discussion happened after we were talking about passive aggressive people, and how I was dating someone. And when I say dating, I mean we went on one date, and then things didn't end well. And then that's when I was talking about this guy that I used to date and how we matched on OkCupid and whatever. So I finally got, the lady balls to message him, and we were talking back and forth for a while. We kept trying to meet up, but like we were both really busy and our schedules weren't lining up, and it never happened. And then there was this one week in particular where I was like, maybe we can hang out this weekend. I'm really busy. Like, I'm busy on one. And, like, I had all these plans. And one of those plans was that my friends and I had planned to go to the gay bar on Wednesday night. Mm-hmm. So we did that. We went to the gay bar. We're getting our gay on. And then across the bar, I see him.
No.
And I was like, first of all, why is he here? Of all places. But it was crazy because it was a Wednesday night. Like, no one goes clubbing on a Wednesday night.
Is it like a known gay bar?
It's the only gay bar in the area, so it's...
Is it Feathers?
It is Feathers. Yeah.
Why would he be at Feathers?
So it turns out he was there for his friend's birthday. So, like, his friend had a birthday and wanted all their friends to come to Feathers for the night. So he had never been there before. It was only my, like, third or fourth time there. But it was, like, very weird that, like...
That's insane.
Yes, he used the word serendipitous to describe it, which I believe you used, Martini, on the podcast when we were talking about him. So we danced a little and we talked a little bit, but neither of us wanted to completely abandon our groups of people. So we were like, we talked and we were like, oh, maybe we'll go see Deadpool this weekend. Mm-hmm. And then...
Did he ask, like, why you were there?
I don't know which of us asked first, but it was yeah, I mean, I was only just there with friends. He was like, oh, are you here all the time? Oh, actually, I think he's like, why are you here? And I was like, because I'm single. And yeah, so like we had a nice night. We actually ended up leaving around the same time. And like it was cool. It was just really freaky. Like I was like in a really good mood because it was like insanely weird that he was there. So yeah, then fast forward to Saturday. We were supposed to go out on Sunday. And I texted him on Saturday because I hadn't heard from him, and I was like, are we going out or not? And then he said he was getting really busy over the weekend, and that, he was like, can we go out next weekend instead? And I was like, all right, sure, that's fine. I was looking forward to seeing Deadpool again, though, so I went anyway. Then the next weekend I didn't hear from him at all, so I was pretty sure I was being ghosted.
Damn, man.
So yeah, he definitely ghosted me for a couple weeks there.
Couple weeks? God damn, how long has it been?
It's been a while since I've been here.
Oh, man.
It's been at least a month, right?
Yeah, I forget what number you were last year, but yeah, maybe 112.
Yeah, I don't know. But so yeah, then I don't even remember how much time passed, but I got a text message from the guy who'd blown me off for the zoo.
Oh, Jesus.
And
10 months later. I mean, it's
yeah,
dramatic,
it was,
but
yeah,
it's a lot.
It was like 2 months later. I think it was April. So it was awkward. I mean, like I looked at the message and I was like, oh shit, like I don't want to deal with this. But yeah.
Do you remember what it said?
I have it.
I have it too.
because I was like freaking out and sent Martini a screenshot, and I was like, what the fuck do I do with this? Yeah. So just as an update, we were supposed to go to the zoo, and then he was all like,
with his back pain.
Yeah, his like back and legs were hurting, but then he was like being passive aggressive about it and like making it my problem, and like he was looking to me to let him off the hook rather than like just saying, hey, can we reschedule or whatever. So yeah, that was April 21st when he said, I feel like I'm wasting your time, and then said, I'm at an urgent care seeing if I can get muscle relaxers. So then fast forward to, now on Thursday. Who bears their soul on a Thursday? Like, I don't know. So he says, as I write this, I feel a hot wash of embarrassment, but you're really awesome and you like most of the things I like. And basically, I'd like to try again if you don't mind. So I made him sweat it out till Friday because I didn't know what I was going to do. I don't think I ever sent you my response to him.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, I don't need to be in your business like
that.
I
don't know. You were my sounding board, man. I needed you. So I said, I gotta be honest. I wasn't too happy with our last interaction. I wasted a day off, and I feel like you were looking to me to let you off the hook that day instead of just being direct with me. I'll play video games with you, but I will not play mind games. That I knew you would like that.
Yo.
You told me not to let him off the hook, and you were right.
I did, but that was precise. Who you? Pusha T? Damn. All right, go ahead.
So I said that said, our date was the best I've had in a long time. I work in the city now, so venturing through space and time for a burger isn't really a problem anymore. I said next week is busy, but maybe we can get dinner the week after.
We got a job in the city?
I did.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess it has been a while.
Yeah. I forgot about that. You were supposed to tell her that you got a job.
Oh, yeah. Update on my life. I got a job. So then he said, I felt insanely bad that day because I wasted your time. Then in my own mind, instead of trying to fix that, I just left it as is, like a hurricane aftermath. I convinced myself you'd want nothing to do with me without actually checking with you. And then he
Look
said,
at all this prose back and forth.
Right?
I know.
And yeah, basically it was just like coordinating meeting and stuff after that.
And have you met him yet?
No, because
it was just Thursday.
This was just this past Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of my week is like crazy. I have something every night. So we'll probably meet next week. I haven't kept him midday yet, but
love it.
But you're not apprehensive of meeting him.
When we met in person, I was apprehensive last time.
Yeah.
And then
this time she owns it.
I'm sorry?
This time she owns it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, I mean, when I met him in person last time, it was instantly like I'd known him my whole life. Like, he's just like, that's why I was so upset when things didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, he had so much potential. We had such good chemistry.
Can
and
I
I
see his
hadn't.
picture? I have like I don't know what I think it looks like.
What you like, Bobby? Like, you know who he is? I'm like, freaking Jen.
I gotta see if he's still
Is his name
on.
No,
Bobby?
I don't know. No, but I was just like, I would think that you would know him. Just like, what the? I know this guy.
In my head, like I don't know why I think he looks like nerdy in Spanish.
Damn, what was I gonna?
He's I don't actually remember. He's not.
Damn, I was gonna ask something, but I don't know.
What
It'll probably come up.
Aw, he looks really sweet.
Yeah, he is. He's cool people.
Aw, he looks like he's like really fun and sweet.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
No. I'm like fast forwarding. Like he seems like a very good guy. It's just that he just effed up.
Yeah, he did.
But he admitted it, and that's admitting it is personal.
No,
one thing I noticed,
he admitted it, and I like that. Not to say that I thought you were gonna dance around what you wanted to say. You said it, and very good writing, by the way. But you said it, and it's because he needed to know specifically that.
Well, see, you've known me for a long time, and like I don't know, like 10 years ago or whatever. I don't think we've known each other that long, but like
no, we have.
Shit. Oh my God, we're old. Yeah, like 10 years ago, I would have like danced around it, and I would have been like, oh no, it's okay. Like I would, I just would have. I don't know. It was like a self-esteem thing, but now I don't fuck around anymore.
Right.
Like it's especially with dating, because it's like if I'm looking for someone to spend the rest of my life with, like I'm not gonna start it out like.
Yeah.
Tiptoeing around things.
Right.
Like, no way.
No, but it's good. It's good that you both just laid it out there.
Yeah.
And what you guys needed to say.
So anyway, that ends up. So the same day that I got that message from him, bearing his soul, so to
Doors
speak.
are opening and closing everywhere.
I got a message like however freaking long after
From OkCupid dude.
OkCupid dude stopped talking to me. Then out of nowhere he says, "Hey Brigid, it's OkCupid dude." He said, "How have you been? Sorry for the really late message. I've been meaning to respond to your message earlier, but I've been procrastinating and being overwhelmed as of late. In all seriousness, I know that's pretty lame of me, and you're a cool person who deserves better, so sorry." And I was like, oh, okay, now I have 2 men to pick from, and that's very stressful. But then, a few minutes later, he says, "I really enjoyed running into you before on Wednesday and talking on OkCupid and stuff, but I met someone a while back, and things are starting to feel more serious with them. I don't want to lead you on or anything, so I wanted to let you know what's going on at the very least. It was lovely talking to you before, and I wish you good luck on the online dating thing." So it was like literally
Did it sting
the
a little?
same. It did. I don't know. I kind of like, I told you guys, I was like, if it doesn't work out, I'll be fine. Like whatever. But he was definitely, the one that got away. And like, I tried this time. Like,
Wait, which one is this? Which one you just read?
The guy I ran into on
at
Feathers.
Who's the person that you just showed us?
The
Zoo guy?
zoo guy.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
I just like say for the audience and people who are not in New Jersey that Feathers is just a very known gay bar
In this area.
area.
Right.
Because otherwise you have to like go to, like, I think
City.
Hoboken is like the closest one.
Oh
yeah.
The parking lot be popping in.
Me personally, I know you, and I know you're not done, because you said it stung, whatever. But me, I just love I love the cosmic fallout. I love how the cosmic pieces fit into place, because I believe.
Oh, fuck off, Martini! Because it doesn't matter. Because it doesn't matter how nice somebody was to you, or how beautiful or eloquent they wrote it. You'd still feel like a certain way about it.
I'm not saying that she should not feel a certain way about it.
Yeah, but you would still be like booty hurt. You wouldn't like even think of that side of the beautiful cosmic this, and that. You'd be like a raging mess and plotting revenge.
Yes.
But all of a sudden it's somebody else's bag to hold.
No.
Oh, it's cosmic.
No. Yes, I would wish that. I would wish that person death. But at the same time, you can see that.
Am I wrong?
I plead the fifth.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. No.
I want to hear what you have to say.
All right, but definitely get it out, because the next episode, she's preparing for the next episode that we're having. So,
Is that already?
Yes, it's the intervention.
Ooh. An intervention is supposed to be a whole circle of people who love him, right?
and it will be, but there'll be a lot of hating going on. It's an intervention. It's an intervention for me.
Oh, this sounds awful and wonderful.
So
we could set up chairs and mics. I'm just
so spoilers. The episode that you've been waiting for ever since when we talked about it. I forget which episode. It's happening next week.
Should I call April?
Yeah.
I want to hear what you have to say.
Well, actually, I don't know when it's gonna happen. Oh yeah, call her, but we don't know when we're doing it. But anyway, no. What I'm saying is that even though you showed Jen OKC guy, and she was all smitten, like, oh, he's hot, whatever. It's like
I say I look nice.
No, you did not.
You were very excited.
Oh, the OKC guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
I was like,
which is weird, because it's weird that we're calling him that, because I didn't meet him on OkCupid. I met the Bronx Zoo guy on OkCupid.
So we should call him like Poetry Guy.
Yes.
Okay, go.
Perfect.
Yeah, PG. So PG. No, it's because I just feel that, especially pertaining to the topic at hand that we're gonna have any minute now in the next hour, is that you guys will share the same basis. Yeah, thanks, Jen. Slurping up that drink.
We have to start over.
I didn't know I was at the bottom.
She's freaking down in that Tivana.
I'm so disappointed.
Down in that Starbucks. You're supposed to boycott that company. No,
they
playing.
apologized and did an intervention. Now you can go in there and pee. You don't have to even buy anything.
Now people of all races can pee in their bathrooms.
No, but what I mean is that you guys, for me anyway, you guys share a same love for stuff, and I think you can grow off of that. Where this one, not to say that with PG things couldn't have happened, but there's already a good enough foundation that you can build on with that, even with just the stuff that you're interested in. Because I would have gone that route, or I would have been more comfortable with that route. You know, just like, oh yeah, we're into the same stuff, cool. And it's not even that, oh, I like this whatever video game and you like this video game. It's about why we both like it, and then it'll like grow from there. About why whatever you like stuff like that. Because you know how our conversations go. Like we like some of the same stuff, but it's not even about what that thing is. It's about why. Yeah. So with Zugai, I think it's a better thing. But yes, with Jen, yes, I would plot that person's death. Yes.
I was just I don't know. It's not that I thought like everything was super casual between us. So it's not like I would have expected him to say, "Hey, I also am dating other people." Like I didn't. Yeah. It's more that there was just like no indication. Not that he owed me that at that point, but I don't know, if you saw the messages between us on OkCupid, they were like novels. So, I don't know. I don't put that much time into a message with someone unless I'm very serious about it. So.
True. I hear you. But it was good that he was upfront too.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
No, exactly. It's not like I'm not upset with him. I guess it's more that I'm bummed that I'm losing the opportunity, I guess.
No, I feel you. Yeah. No, absolutely.
You don't know what could happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You might have to, he might come back around and be like, oh, this thing really didn't work out, or it wasn't what I thought it was. And then you'd be like, sorry, I'm having a great time with Zugai.
Yeah.
Or maybe it'll be available. Who knows?
It's good.
I want to say this, though. I haven't dated in a long time. But I applaud both of the men, even though it took them an extreme amount of time. And it says a lot about the character of who you are. Like, I've only met you a handful of times. I think you're great. But it says a lot about who you are that... as great as you are, they actually took that in and applied that to the person, I guess, who maybe they are too, and came forward. And even though it was like later, much later, but they came forward and kind of like fessed up and like were straight up and honest. Like, it sucks to hear that, like, oh, I've chose something else, or I'm doing something else, or, I'm sorry I was a dick this time, but whatever. But they were, like, upfront and honest, like, based on the character of you. Like, yo, she's a really dope girl, and I shouldn't have done that to her. And they fessed up and they owed up to it. Where most guys would just
That's
be
true,
like,
too.
Where most guys would just be like, I already haven't called her for a couple days, so she'll
get the point. Yeah. Like, they saw something great in you, and they're like, damn, I need to come correct. And tell her, like, hey, this isn't going to work out. I'm sorry, blah, blah, I got something else. But, you're, like, a great person, so.
Thanks, guys. You're pretty great, too.
No, but it's true, because, yeah, Jennifer's absolutely correct. It's like, yo, I didn't call this bitch in, like, 2 days or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm out. So, it's good that they took you into consideration because you carried yourself with such poise.
Aw. Thanks,
but
guys.
air hugs, because I know that stings a little. We've all been there.
I'm like already over it, so I bounce back.
Anything else on the horizon?
I don't know. Is that not enough?
What? You'll stop chewing on this mic.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it in my life. I guess. Yeah, I have a new job, and I'm starting a master's program in the fall. Which means, I don't know, that's gonna be like my first conversation with Zugai is gonna be like, hey, I've got a 1-year master's program that I gotta focus on, so you're gonna have to be patient with me if this is gonna have longevity. But that's good that you tell him that as well. Yeah. So you guys can act accordingly. Yeah, I don't think I can date this guy and not have it be long term though. I just kind of get that vibe. So.
Wait, repeat that?
I don't think I can date this guy without it being long term.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely not going to be like a
short thing.
Good
thing.
So
okay with that?
Yeah, it's preferred really, but it's been a long time since I've done that, so there's some
Well, it's
nerves.
good that you guys have the whole summer to kind of like vibe. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So you don't know what's gonna happen. Like you can build a bond in the summer, and then like, you know, like sometimes when you get to a point in a relationship where you don't necessarily have to be doing something, you could just kind of like be in the same house or whatever. So if he has his own place or something, and
Right.
you crash over there and study, and you know, but you're still together, and you get to eat dinner together, or watch a movie together at the end of the night.
That's true.
You know, you figure it out. I mean, we're all not there yet. Like we're all gonna go there, but it works itself out. And you have the whole summer to figure that out.
Yeah, that's true.
So good luck on that next new first date.
Thanks.
And Zoo Guy's in the city, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bronx.
The Bronx.
Oh, that's right. Because the other guy was around here. Oh, well, not
Yeah.
around us.
Yeah, around like
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Nice. Good. I hope that works out, and you know
Thanks.
you'll
I'll update you.
you'll update us.
Do.
Sweet.
Tell. Let's have it this time.
Do.
Do.
I'm so hungry.
Oh,
Yeah.
you called it.
I told you. I was like, Jen's gonna walk in here. She's gonna be real hangry.
But I'm like a fun hungry right now.
Well, yeah, you're like eating a straw.
It's still the beginning, so. So
We
yes.
haven't even started the topic. So.
Well, we're gonna start it right now. We're gonna start it right now. Yes. So it's episode 116, ManChild / Kid at Heart, admiring or adult wanted. So I wanted to do this topic for a long time, and something that I saw on 2020 a couple weeks ago just made it like resurgence in my head, and also too the the trailer for Disney's Christopher Robin made me think about this as well. And by the way, if anybody hasn't watched the teaser trailer and now first official trailer of Christopher Robin, if you guys have not cried during that trailer, you have no soul. That's all I'm just gonna say about that.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, we'll watch it after because
So you can watch us cry.
because it's amazing.
I've heard that.
All right, it's absolutely amazing.
Who's playing Christopher Robin?
That is a secret. But it's awesome. But anyway, so yeah, the episode of 2020 was about game addiction and all that stuff, but more importantly about the subject, because it was about a guy. Well, it's two stories, but the one story I wanted to focus on. Grown man, 35.
We have this problem where Jen and I just look at each other and then we start laughing. She's like hiding her microphone so that she can keep chewing on this straw.
Do you want us to pause so you can get like
because that's her priority.
a freaking like a bite of a burger or like a salad or something, or like
No,
a
keep going.
a grape?
Proceed.
A grape.
So this guy, late 30s, married, 4 kids, and the wife is worried about him because every time he comes home, he has a 9 to 5, comes home, chills with his kid for like an hour, then he's like, all right, I'm going downstairs. So like he goes downstairs and plays a multiplayer game, whichever it is, Call of Duty, Halo, I don't know, they never specified. And so like he's just playing, and then the reporter's like, does he do this all the time? And she's like, yeah, he does. And it's like, it's even worse on Saturdays. And it's like, really? Like, how long does he play? And and she's like, I don't know, he wakes up and it's like he might play for like 16, 18 hours. I was like, damn, that is the whole day. I was like, my God. I was like, my goodness. So like, obviously his is a more extreme case, like, and it was literally, he had like game addiction, and they had to like get a guy in and tell him about it, and they had to like detox him, so it was like the hoarder show that like take away all his video games, which is a room full of video games, and take away his systems.
Did he go crazy?
He didn't go crazy because he knew that something was wrong, because they were saying that let's say his wife and his kids, let's say they were going to hit her mom's house for like Thanksgiving, maybe they're like 30 minutes out, and she's like, yeah, she purposely recorded like weekly vlogs, whatever. It's like, yeah, Robert's not here for Thanksgiving. He wanted to stay home and play video games.
Yo.
So like he's missing,
Capital
whatever.
Divorce.
Damn, divorce?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh my god.
You wouldn't do what she eventually did and get help? You'd like divorce him?
Try that first.
Oh,
but,
okay,
like,
thank you. Like, damn.
I don't know. It depends.
First of all, fuck you. Not you personally.
I know.
Her. Because you knew before you married him
Mm-hmm.
that he was a game addict.
Oh, but
Well,
yes, but also
that I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
I mean, that's possible, but also they didn't have kids yet. So the fact that you mentioned off the beginning that he would play with his kid for an hour and then go downstairs and play video games.
not even play with kids. He was he would try to like help the kid with his homework, but you can see him fidgeting because he's like,
yeah.
I
Okay,
want
so
to
the
do
kid is
something
old enough to be
else.
doing homework. So like I was thinking like a baby.
No.
like-
Well, I mean,
Well,
they
that's
had 4
worse.
kids. I don't
Like-
know. I don't know if the youngest kid is like just came out. You know what I'm saying? But like,
Right, but still, I don't know. It's like if you marry someone and you're in college and like one of you is really into video games, you're like, oh, this is just a quirky thing about this person. But then you pop out a bunch of kids and he'd rather be downstairs playing video games than like interacting with his children, then that is a problem.
right.
Like,
Oh yeah.
I understand like an hour or two a night of video games or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, first of all, kids fucking love video games. So if you're playing video games without your kids in the first place, like that's a problem.
Well, it's a school night.
So it's a school night for him too. there's just, I mean, like I play video games. I need to like add that as a disclaimer. Like,
Right.
I mean, I haven't in a while, but like
Right.
all my friends play video games. I appreciate the culture. Like we've been talking about Comic-Con. We go to Comic-Con. Like it's not that I'm against gamers or anything. It's just like you gotta have
separate
priorities.
church and state.
Do that too.
Like your family needs to come first.
Mhm.
Once your family is taken care of, is your wife taken care of? Is the home taken care of? Is everything taken care of? Well, then now you can go play video games.
Yo, but I gotta take care of my clan though. Know what I mean? No, I'm playing.
People
I'm
have
just playing
like,
devil's advocate.
people have like gaming friends and stuff, and like I get that, but it's like, and also, what did she have a day job or was she stay at home?
Damn, I wish I could have remembered. It wasn't even that long of a segment too. It was like 3 to 40 minute segment. They were just really concentrating on his addiction because that was the
Right.
main subject.
Right.
I don't know if she was a housewife. I don't know.
I'm just imagining if I stayed home with my kids all day and then my husband came home and went downstairs and played fucking video games instead of spending time with his kids.
I know someone like that.
Capital divorce.
Yeah.
She's like, fuck the help. Get out my house.
I have a friend who I actually used to be friends with the husband more than I was friends with her, and I don't really know why she married him, but that's beside the point. So I kind of dated her husband.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was friends / dating him, and like he used to play video games a lot, but not even video games, like the computer games.
Right.
And I remember once he told me, like he wanted kids in a family so bad, but I remember once he told me, he's like, I'm never gonna give this up. He's like, I'm like, even when you have kids, you're gonna still play video games, and he was like, yeah, fuck yeah, all day. And I'm like, that's what you think. Nah, B. Like
He kept his promise.
He married a woman who had 2 children already,
Mm-hmm.
and then they had a baby together.
Mhm.
And like, then she would call me like kind of bitch, like all he does is play video games all day. I'm like, why did you think he wasn't gonna do that?
Mm-hmm.
Like he did it the entire time you dated him,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And she's like, I need help in the house, like I need help getting the kids ready or what, like watching the baby, and like he does nothing. He doesn't change diapers. He doesn't even do like any
All right,
family
well,
time.
that's-
Hell no.
That's
Like-
that's excessive.
A, doesn't sound like my problem. B, sorry to hear that. But yeah, I couldn't, I couldn't like roll with that. Like my boyfriend doesn't play video games, but he got God of War, and like,
We were talking about that.
and like, yeah, I mean, he's been playing a lot, but he always says, "Babe, once it's over, it's over. I'm not gonna play anymore."
Until there's DLC.
No, like I don't know. But like sometimes I feel like I have to kind of remind him, like, I don't care that you play, but I need you to spend like X amount of time with me. Or sometimes like on the weekends I'll be like, can you watch a movie with me and then you can play? like, because he's not used to having to balance his time because he'd never played before. So
Right.
now, like, if he has time, he's like, oh, can I play? Can I play? And I'm like, fine. You know, but
Yeah,
I'm waiting for the game to be over.
Right.
But he does. Like, he still helps me cook, and he still does everything else. So I can't be
Yeah, that's
super mad.
important. Yeah.
It'd be funny. It was funny when sometimes I would see Jen get frustrated with her boyfriend playing the video game, and the funniest thing is because this is how creative Jen is. She would weave in her problem while also discussing about the video game, and I was just like, Jen, because like,
I need an example.
no, I'm
Yeah.
about to give you one, because like,
Me
you know,
too.
so let's say he'll be playing video games, and then we'll be done. You know, we'll be done with the podcast, and we'll go upstairs, and then, you know, we come up, and he's in the middle of playing video game, God of War. So he'll be playing, and then she'll be like, ugh. And then I'll be like, come on, like, he plays video games, like, in my head, whatever. And she's like, it's like, you're still playing this? And then he's like, yeah, I'm playing this. I gotta get to this. And this is like not verbatim, but I definitely remember this because this was pretty funny. She was like, you're still playing this? He's like, yeah, I need to get to the next level. And she's like, don't you want to get to like the next level of life and get married? And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, God damn. I was like, yeah, just cut to the chase, Jen.
No subtlety at all.
I was like, damn, man. Jeez.
I love
Hashtag
it.
savage.
And I was like, I gotta go. See you guys later. My God,
I
man.
love it.
I was like, man.
You want to get to the next level of life?
It's like, yo, man.
Was that you saying you can keep playing this game if you marry me?
Yeah.
No, because that's the thing. Like, that's why sometimes I get frustrated with Jen, because like sometimes she'll don't shake your head. No, because half the things that quote unquote bother her of what her man does, I think she would be completely fine if she had a ring on her finger. Like, it wouldn't bother her in the least. That's why I don't know why it should bother her now, because she's like, whatever, you can play that game. Who cares? Yay. Nice. You know, it's like,
I don't know.
It's like, take it easy. But anyway, but so with that special, I was wondering, okay, so with that special, I was thinking more of like, you know, like the ManChild, and how the ManChild, well, the term for ManChild that I saw was like a grown man who is very immature, therefore considered a ManChild. But it's more of the term of that this person has prolonged their adolescence, you know, and hasn't gotten to a certain stage in life and stuff like that, and considers childhood things, you know, to be the norm, whereas a kid of heart, which is being a kid of heart, generally connotates a positive trait to an individual. It means you enjoy the simplest of things and that you're adventurous and daring, because sometimes a thing might bring us back in the day. Oh, just like when your man bought ColecoVision.
Oh, he just sold it, thank God.
You know, he's like, oh snap, I remember this when I was a kid. You know, it's like, so that made him nostalgic for you know, his childhood days and stuff like that. So I was just wondering, not which one would you prefer, but it's like, do you feel I guess, do you feel that a man-child could be saved or like turned into like a kid of heart? Because sometimes the kid of heart is more sought for, because at least a kid at heart is a quote unquote adult most of the time, as opposed to a man-child who can't seem to find his adultness.
I think it depends on the man and the woman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or the man and the man, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, so like to me, a kid at heart is like me, like, you know, like,
Right.
like, you know, who you go to Comic-Con and you like see your like your like favorite heroes and you're like all excited and like that kind of stuff. And then a man-child is someone who like, I don't know, sits on his ass and expects his woman to wait on him because he's like used to his mom doing that shit for him. Like that's I don't know. I guess it also depends on your age. I think after a certain age there's just like no growing out of it.
Growing out of what?
I don't know, your like man-child behavior. It's like
I
think if you're in your like 20s and you grab it early enough and you can like grow out of it. But I don't know if you're like,
I think with the right alpha woman, you'll be able to.
If you're in your like 40s, I don't know.
Into his normalcy.
I don't know, but with the right alpha woman, you might an alpha woman just may not have the patience for it.
Right.
And just kick him to the curb right away.
Or might break him.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I've
never been successful with it, so.
I think that when people like bond in a relationship, I guess it depends on like the severity of it and like how much people are willing to change. So, if you have a man-child, having a very adult conversation, if you can have that, or even like dumbing down the conversation to be like, listen, I love you, I want to be with you, but I can't be your mother. I want to be your partner. I want to be your equal, and that includes you doing this, this, and this. And if that's not something you can get on board with, then maybe we shouldn't be in a relationship. But I think it's something you have to have that conversation like in the beginning. Because some men, I think, are complacent in their ways because it's just what they're used to. And if they came like right from their mom's house, then depending on their age group, hopefully, you're just kind of like, oh, no. You're not at home anymore. Like, we're doing this together and this is how you do it. But I mean, if he's just kind of like my friend's husband, you're just screwed.
How old is that guy?
40.
40, okay. Because I was reading something on Wikipedia and it says as of 2016, the average age for a video game player is 35, a number slowly increasing as people who were children playing the first arcade, console, or home computer games continue playing now on current systems. Because I feel that there's not a disconnect, but a misinterpretation because a lot of women are like, oh my God, you're like 40. Like, what? Like, why are you playing video games and stuff like that? It's just like, it's because we're the first generation to have it.
Right.
So we're not going to stop. Like, this is our
nursing
thing.
Homes are going to have video game consoles. Like, it's just a thing.
Yeah. It's like, and
arcades are actually making like a really big comeback right now in an awesome way. Like, where like me and my boyfriend went on a date night to this place in Morristown where you just pay $10 for the hour. And they have like all the old school games there, all pinball machines.
Do you remember what the place is called?
The Game Vault in Morristown.
Okay.
But they just put one in Hawthorne too.
And which one's that called?
Midway Games or something.
Why are you being cringy?
Yeah,
I'm not being cringy. It's because...
Is it like a punchline?
No, it's because...
Boyfriend's palace.
Religious girl's uncle just opened an arcade place.
In Hawthorne?
I believe so. So that's why I thought... Is
he missing teeth?
No, I have no idea.
The guy who owns it looks super creepy.
I have no idea what he looks like or whatever. But I can tell you the name in a few. But yeah, so just like, oh snap, that's a quinky dink. But yeah. So
why do you still follow Religious Girl?
What? I don't follow her.
How do you know these sis?
Because I looked at her Instagram.
I followed you home today.
Hey, Mrs. Guess who had a baby?
Brooklyn.
Exactly. So I don't want to freaking hear it from you.
It's podcast material.
Oh, but my thing is creepy.
Touche. Yeah, but I mean, that's a fun date night, but like if you're like coming home after a long day at work and like, I don't know, I have like a really like structured way of thinking about relationships sometimes. Like I do think that all couples should eat dinner together when possible, and I think that you should kind of like have a slight 5-10 minute brief conversation about your day together, and then like kind of I'm just like really structured. Like I kind of want to just like discuss like what we're doing the rest of the night, and like, you know, sometimes like me and my boyfriend will eat dinner and he'll be like, oh, can I play games for a little bit? And I'm like, okay, I'm just going upstairs. And then he'll be like, no, come stay with me, sit with me. I'm like, I don't want to.
Oh, so that makes me crazy.
No, I'm like, I don't want to stay.
Like, someone wanting to sit next to you while they like play video games. Like
but what are you crazy about? Somebody, you being the one to watch, or you want, or having someone watch?
Me being the one to watch. Like,
okay,
my ex used to do that to me all the time, where like he'd want to spend time with me, but he'd want to be playing video games while spending time with me.
Gotcha.
He'd want to have it all, basically.
Yeah.
But like,
so he's taking your time.
Yeah, I'd be bored as shit, and and it just was crazy. So it's like, yeah, if you want to play video games, fine, but like, let me go read a book. Like,
yeah. Because I feel, I mean, not necessarily your situation, but I think with a lot of grown men in relationships who live with their girlfriends, that is the new happy hour.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, I'm off of work. So as opposed to like going to the bar in the city or wherever you are, I was like, yo, I'm just gonna detox and just clear out my mind and play like an hour or two of video games.
Like sometimes if I stay, I feel like sometimes I'll bring my my tablet and I'll like play my word game or whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes if like I stay, like especially if it's like a day that he has off, like he'll kind of be like, oh, let me stop and like let me do something with you. But like if I know if it's like tonight, like I'm going to bed in a couple hours. So like, if he's like, oh, can I play? I'm just going to be like, good night. I'll see you when you come to bed.
Yeah.
But then he comes to bed and he's like, you're not going to sleep. And he gets all crazy. And he like wants to like eat my feet and stuff. It's just...
I'll edit that out.
I'm sorry, is this a dog?
Yeah. Tickle me so I can't go to sleep and stuff. Aww. And I'm just like, I want to sleep. You did what you wanted to do. And he's like, but I want to spend time with you. I'm like,
then you shouldn't have played your game.
Should have left Kratos alone.
Should have left Kratos alone.
If it's a game we were like both playing, like we used to play Borderlands a lot, and like I loved that. But there like sometimes there would be like if it was one player or whatever,
right?
And then like. So my options were either he was playing it and I'd watch, or like he'd teach me how to play it, and that was worse.
I would be I would, when I was with my ex-fiance, I would be conscious of that because I know stereotypically that most women would not want their man to play video games in front of them, and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, let's do something, but she was cool with it. Sometimes, let's say if I had Mario Kart, I would always try to find a two-player. But sometimes she'd freaking like just take the controller. She's like, oh my God, I want to play this game. I was like, all right, go ahead. Yeah, and I would watch her because I'm like, all right, well, she's into it, so we're good.
Right. I mean, like, if we're both going to play, it's fine.
Yeah.
But, I'm not going to... I will never do that again, where I'm just, like, bored out of my mind.
So I have a question. So why is, let's say, I guess, video games or maybe, like, watching cartoons all day is frowned upon because the man is not spending time with the woman? How come... Or maybe
I would say this goes both ways, too, because...
Right.
I watch cartoons all the time.
No, but, all right. But maybe I could be prejudging, but... Why isn't sports looked at the same way?
I think it is.
You think so?
Way. Absolutely. Yeah. I think I think maybe the only difference would be that video games and cartoons is like stereotypically a younger thing.
Yeah.
So it's like more like, I don't know. So it's like when you're older and a man is just like spending his day watching sports or whatever, it's like, oh, this is just what men do. Like, but I don't think they're any happier about it, Right.
Like,
I think it's just they have, I guess in the like in this patriarchal society, they have less of a quote unquote right to complain about it because like this is what men do. They sit and they watch sports, and women
because
serve
it's
them
manly
beer.
and women serve them beer because it's all manly. It's like
Right.
two men like bashing into each other, or
Yeah,
whatever. So it's like,
exactly.
all right, well,
But I think
it's men's stuff. It's like at least he's not watching Muppet Babies.
I think it's exactly the same thing though, because it's just like in like our society though, with how we think about things. If a man is like watching Teen Titans Go all day, which like give me that man, because
give me that man.
You're just like watching cartoons all day.
Right. Original Teen Titans is good. too.
I need to watch that too.
Yeah, that's very good. They're very two different shows.
Yes.
but-
My godson watches that.
Yeah, well,
See,
we can
there you
chill
go.
with your godson.
See, there you go. I heard that slight.
Yeah, that was the face. but like if we were talking about like, oh, I was watching the Jets game, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's what grown-ups do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but you know, it's still annoying. Like I don't know, it's just because it's the fucking Jets. But
Jeez.
I don't know. Fuck the NFL, really. That's just where I'm at.
Whoa.
Actually, no. The Jets said that he would pay the fine.
Yeah.
The Jets coach said he
The
would
Jets
pay the
coach,
fine
he
for
would
the
pay the
kneeling.
well, because you heard about the new rule, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So the Jets
So the coach will pay the fine.
Will pay
A
the fine.
9-year-old
So his
girl was
players
sent
can
to
kneel.
rehab to deal with a Fortnite video game addiction. She was so bad that she wouldn't get up to use the bathroom.
It happens to girls too, guys. Expose the issues.
expose the issues. Yeah. Okay. Do you believe that? Because it's really funny because I found hundreds upon hundreds of articles about ManChild or men children, I should say, but like one article about the woman child. Why do you think that is? Do you think they don't exist?
Women mature
I know,
faster than men anyway.
Yes,
Yeah,
I have an article about that.
And I think an immature woman is just clingy and needy, and I think that's probably it's more likely to be called a clingy woman than
Right.
like because immature women are needy and they want things and they. I mean, I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
No, it's fine. But like, I mean, there is another half of when we go to Comic-Con. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
So it's like, why don't...
What is happening?
What the... Jen?
Jen.
I don't know. Something happened.
It's like, why... I don't want to say why aren't women called out, but it's like, why aren't they frowned upon? They're more like almost praised because like, woo.
Well, yeah, because it's
she's
like,
into
it's like every
our stuff.
comic boy guy's wet dream that a girl is at Comic Con. I don't know. I mean,
I think that women know how to separate it better. I mean, look at my friend, the one who was down the street.
Yes.
She has other.
Oh,
things-
she's your friend now again?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Congrats. All right, good.
She has other stuff going on,
Mm-hmm.
but so maybe that's not really a good example. She has other like anxieties and stuff, so, and maybe it's not a good example. But I don't know. Well, no, that's not true because like her mom's kind of sick too, and she knows how to separate like church and state. Like she knows how to like sometimes I think she plays video games like way too much.
Especially with her old boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old boyfriend?
Her ex-boyfriend, sorry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she plays video games with her new boyfriend, too.
No, but it was bad
Right.
before.
I needed something to do. I'm getting antsy.
That's your stress ball?
But, like, she knows how to, like, you know, take care of her mom and do other things that she's doing. When she's in school, most of the time she can stay focused.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I mean, I think women know how to, like, kind of separate, know when it's time to get shit done. I mean, there could be women who absolutely don't, but I think they're younger. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I think...
although, have you ever been at a Comic-Con panel when it's like audience questions and there's a girl who's got something to say? and she like, I like wish I could come up with an example, but there's like that stereotypical Comic-Con girl who has like, I don't know if it's like a fan theory or she wants to like yell at the writers for doing something she didn't like or or that kind of thing. Like there's and there's definitely you can definitely see there's like a lack of emotional maturity and that kind of thing where she's like clearly has taken this slight to heart even though it's a work of fiction.
Yeah.
And it exists in men and women.
Oh,
I've seen it in both. I don't know, I guess.
Yeah.
But saying one is more frowned upon than the other, I don't know. I guess I've never really thought about it.
No,
But
just throwing it out there.
yeah, no, I'm glad you did because it's food for thought for sure.
But yes, chiming in on what Jennifer said about women being more mature, I have an article from telegraph.co.uk. Shout out to Superman, wow, Superfan Sam. And the title is Men Grow Up at 43, 11 years later than women. So a study into the differences.
Man, I got 2 more years.
A study into the differences in maturity between genders revealed that men and women agree men remain immature well into their late 30s and early 40s, but the average age at which women mature emerged as 32. Alarmingly, 8 out of 10 women believe that men never stop being childish, with breaking wind, burping, eating fast food in the early hours, and playing video games their biggest bugbears. Staying silent during arguments, not being able to cook simple meals, and retelling the same old jokes and stories when with the lads were also hailed as signs of immaturity. Women were also twice as likely as men to feel as they were the grown-up one in their current relationship. In fact, the average British woman has to tell her cheeky partner to act his age more than once a month, an average of 14 times a year. Immaturity does have it upside, though, with 4 in 10 people think immaturity is important in a relationship because it ensures the partnership stays fun and keeps things fresh. 1 in 3 people think a bit of immaturity helps in bonding well with children.
Okay. That'll make sense, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between being immature and, like, not being, like, responsible.
Right, yeah, like a kid at heart is not necessarily immature.
Right, yes.
But I was going to say something and I lost my thought. Oh, that it was saying that men are immature longer with like farting and burping and like that kind of stuff. And I just got to say, women are like that too.
All right, that's good to hear.
They only have like certain people that like they're comfortable being like that with.
Okay.
Or like my sister and I are like, we act like toddlers.
All right.
But you know, it's when we're like alone together, you know, it's when, but then when we're in public, you know, we grow the hell up. So
right.
I think maybe that's where there's a disconnect, is that men are just more willing to show that side of themselves.
True. And I saw this one article about the woman child, and it was called "The Rise of the Woman Child," and it was from HuffingtonPost.com, and they were talking about various the women in media now that represents that woman child, and some of them is Annie from Bridesmaids, Hannah from Girls, and the 2 lead actresses in Broad City. I don't know if you guys ever watched that show. That's a very popular female-centric show. So
yeah, the only reference I get is the Bridesmaids one.
yeah, they said they are all women in their 20s and 30s experiencing a liminal period between adolescence and adulthood. So,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there was that. Yeah, and there was this one other article. I think you guys like hit upon it where it was talking about how it was pretty much, it depends on your partner if it's if this can be willing to work or just call it quits. So the real definition of a man-child and how to deal with one. But then they said, this was from medicineontap.net, and it said there is nothing inherently wrong about adult men who like to pal around with their guy friends, partake in shenanigans we women folk consider immature and childish, or play their favorite video games. Nor is there anything inherently wrong with a man who needs to be picked up after. Individuals have different priorities, and tidiness may not be yours or a man's. There are just as many women in the world who are a mess and need someone else to pick up after them. No, ladies and men, if you're actually reading this, the term man-child has absolutely nothing to do with any individual man's personal preference or leisure or stress relief, or if he reverts to seemingly juvenile forms of fun on his guy night out. And truthfully, it has nothing to do with a man's unwillingness to make a long-term commitment to his long-term girlfriend via marriage. Although that may be a problem if his girlfriend has made clear it's what she needs for the relationship to continue. The term, rather, has everything to do with how a grown man interacts with those he is in a relationship with and has made commitments to. Is he able to take responsibility for his actions, including his mistakes, and apologize when he's hurt someone? Can he empathize with the feeling and emotions of another? If he has made a commitment to someone, such as marriage, is he able to give more than just what he feels like giving, but give to the extent the other needs? Is he capable of dealing with disagreement as an adult, rather than as a toddler or a child who hasn't developmentally learned empathy yet? Is he capable of compromise? Can he communicate for the benefit of the relationship? Can he be trusted to be present and there for those who he's made a commitment to? So I think you guys were hitting it right on the head.
Those are smart. And we're women.
Wow. Sexist. But go ahead.
Did either of you
That's just my hunger talking.
either of you watch Scrubs?
No.
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 I tried to watch Parks and Rec last night. I couldn't get into it.
What? Season 1 is like meh.
Oh.
But season 2 is pretty it's like
We're gonna start
it's like my favorite show.
I like everybody who's in it. I don't know.
Oh, well, I was gonna make a Scrubs reference.
Oh.
But it's gonna if you haven't seen it, it's
But
yeah.
our listeners might have heard Scrubs. Or watched Scrubs.
Okay, fine. Well, if you've watched Scrubs, there's this episode I watched it recently actually, where JD is the main character, and he has like an infant son, and everybody's like getting on him because his baby mama and his kid live like in Washington State, and it's like a long drive. But up until then, his main mode of transportation has been a scooter, and he's like complaining about what like a long ride it is to like go see his kid, and then his brother, as like a gesture, buys him a car because he's like you need to go be able to see your son or whatever. And then like his friends are getting on him about like, well, have you even gone to go visit your son since they moved away, and all this. And then he's got his other friend, and there's like these two characters, Turk and JD, who have like the quintessential bromance, and they're they act like children together. They go on slip and slides. They have these like really weird handshakes, and it's they are like.
Is Breckenmeyer in Scrubs?
No.
I love Breckenmeyer.
But they definitely have like, they're very childish in their friendship. But Turk, who's been like a husband and a father longer, he's always stepped up to the plate and been mature when he's had to. And so he kind of has to give JD a lesson. And, he's like, I love goofing off with you, but, when I go home, I have to be a dad. And so then, JD learns his lesson, and he gets in the car and he goes and visits his son, and it's, happy ending, whatever. But it's definitely like,
Church and state.
I think it's a good like example of like the child at heart versus the man-child.
Yes.
Where, and I don't know, he was able to change, so I don't know, maybe y'all can too.
I think if it's taking money and time away from your family, it's not good. I think that's the end result. Like whether it's a woman or a man. Like if you're neglecting your family or your relationship, and if like you're like, fuck my kids' diapers, I need Fortnite too.
Yeah, if you can't find a balance, I mean,
Right.
it's like, I think, after the kids have gone to bed, like, you want to play some video games or whatever, but like, and it's like one thing if like you're playing video games while your wife or husband is like reading a book, or like doing, it's like as long as you're both relaxing but you're not playing video games while the other person is like doing the dishes and cooking and doing all that. It's like, if you're not helping, and I don't know, I guess it's like if you've been at work all day, I can understand you want to come home and you want to unwind or whatever, but it's like the other person's working too, whether it's at home or out in an office or something. Like,
Put your kids to bed.
Yeah.
Give your wife some head and play video games.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
She won't complain after that.
Or play video games with your children. Like, my God, that's what's upsetting too. Is it's
well,
like,
I mean, if it's appropriate.
Sure. Even if it's not, though. I mean, come on.
If you're like shooting off heads of people and you're like kids like 5, like, Daddy, what are you doing?
I mean, I guess, but kids can watch the news too, and the same shit's on the news. So.
Sure.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
no, I know
you know the tolerance of your kid. So if if your kid can handle somebody's head being sawed off, in a video game.
But I think
then-
the most important thing is I don't think anyone should go into a relationship and they have a man-child and think that a kid
Yeah.
or of marriage is going to change them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
Kind of
yeah,
have to
I
have
guess
that
you have
conversation.
to definitely think about it at first, but I would never say that it's like her fault that she's in this situation. I mean, like, I think it's reasonable of her to have expected that if he had new responsibilities that he'd step up to the plate. Like, I think that's fair for her to have thought, but
I
definitely
think you can communicate that, though.
yeah,
like-
you should cover your own ass, that's for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything else, Martini?
Yeah, there's just
Or
one.
eat the mic?
There's one short article. All right, and then I have a question to pose to you guys. But what the fuck?
I was stretching.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is what? This is from grazadaily.co.uk. And the woman writes, I'm a 32-year-old woman, and my lounge is strewn with skateboards, game consoles, various radio-controlled bits of crap, graphic novels, and other miscellaneous stuff that belongs in the bedroom of a teenage boy. It really fucks with my interior design aesthetic, and I'm always tripping over something, but I don't care anymore. ManChild and I have very different approaches to life, and as such, we complement each other well. I do a lot for him, but it's not one-sided. His chilled-out, sunny demeanor has helped me let go of my control freak tendencies. I am relaxed, I laugh more, I don't take life so seriously, and importantly, I have a hell of a lot of fun. So,
Do you guys ever see Think Like a Man?
Yeah.
no.
I was just thinking about in Think Like a Man, Turtle from Entourage is dating Gabrielle Union.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, they kind of grew up, or they were, like, dating in college or something, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
And they ended up getting married, and, like, so, but they still kind of, like, have, like, the same, like, chill, like, let's hang out, smoke a blunt, and blah, blah, blah. But then at one point, Gabrielle Union's like, we need to grow up, and she knows how to, like, do that.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, he kind of struggled with it. But then, like, eventually he realized he was kind of, like, going to lose her if he didn't. And then, spoiler alert, he shapes up a little bit.
Okay. A little bit, just a little.
It's a good movie.
Just a
I haven't
smidge.
seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
So, my question is, which one am I? Am I a man-child or am I a kid at heart? Think about it. Don't look to each other for help.
I think you're a dreamer.
Okay.
I think you have potential to be a kid at heart,
Okay.
but I think you're waiting for something to happen instead of making it happen.
Okay.
So I can't really say that you're a man-child, because I think that in the years that I've known you, you've like put aside video games and things of that nature for the other passions that you enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really remember you playing like video games like OD. And I guess at the age when you did, like, it was appropriate. So I don't know. I think you're more of a kid at heart, but I think that, we'll save the rest for next episode.
Whoa.
But yeah, you're more of a kid at heart. I think you're a kid at heart, but you also have like the Peter Pan syndrome.
Okay. Bridget.
I was gonna,
You done?
Oh yeah, I'll diagnose you later.
Damn. All right, Bridget.
no, I think it's possible to be both, which I guess we didn't really cover.
Okay, well, let's cover it now.
Yeah, I think you can. I think it's possible to be both.
Yeah.
So you're definitely a kid at heart.
Okay.
And I don't. Do you maybe have some man-child tendencies?
Yeah.
Okay.
High five for that.
Yes,
All
I would
right.
say so.
And
but
what?
I-
Any examples?
Your
think
level of
it's-
pettiness.
Sorry,
I just interject in that.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. This comes right before your intervention episode, so like, I guess I don't know, but
We're warming up the crowd.
I feel like you have a tendency to take things very personally in a way that this sounds so weird though. Like in a way that like a kid would, where it's like you tell a kid like eat your broccoli, and then the kid's like was like, fuck you. Why? That's not fair to me. Like, you know, like that kind of thing.
Right.
So it's like, I feel like you, especially romantically, I feel like you feel personally slighted by things that were never like intended to hurt you, or you know, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And I don't know. I guess I could see. So like that, I love your passion projects. Like that's like all that is awesome. But I don't know. I don't talk to you that often enough to know whether or not you balance them appropriately with the rest of your life. I mean, you obviously have a job that you go to and all that. I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think you're definitely a kid at heart, and that's, you should never lose that. Like that's, I have felt, especially when you had things with your former fiance, that it was like hard to draw the distinction between you know, like owning Batman figurines versus like not having a job. Like you know, it's which was something that like I tried to explain to you back then, I think, where you felt like, where you like lumped it together essentially, where where you were like, oh well, no woman's ever gonna like me because I collect comic books and I have like posters on my wall of like, I was just like that kind of thing.
I was actually going to tell a story about a long time ago, maybe definitely a decade or more ago, where I have this cousin from Canada, and she brought her like friend to like visit us and whatever, and I remember they were both going into my room, and I was like, oh no. You know what I mean? Like, no, I must hide everything. You know, so like everything is just strewn about, and then like, I mean, I didn't care about my cousin, but I cared about the other chick because like she was cute, and then like she came in, and I was like, fuck, because I had like my long boxes of like comic books, like just out. I never like kept them in my closet because it's just like a bitch to keep taking them out, so they were just out. And she's like, "What's that?" I was like, "My comic books." And she's like, "Oh, okay." I was like, you know what I mean? I was like, fuck. You know, like, why do I have to be this way? You know what I mean? No, because sometimes I worry about that, because there are more non-geek girls than there are geek girls. So I was like,
fair.
But
damn.
like, I
what
feel
do
like you have to find a balance. Like,
Right.
my boyfriend has like his man cave at his house, where he has like a bunch of unhung superhero posters.
Yeah.
And I've offered him to come put them like down here.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
not in the main living areas of my house.
Yeah. Why not? Why not?
Because I don't even have my like I don't even have art up, like, and if they were artistically like
I mean,
done,
I can agree from a design perspective.
Right.
But they could be dope. You haven't seen the posters. Not,
Right.
like if it was like an art, if it was like an artsy piece
yeah.
with other
Yeah.
other media, maybe. But like just print posters, like this is the room for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Look around.
Yeah.
This is like the hangout room.
We have
So
Bob Marley in comic book room.
I know.
Right.
I mean, I have my hip hop comic books that have to go up. They're over here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I mean, and he has like a whole slew of comic books. Like they're not displayed, but like they're in boxes.
Mm-hmm.
He also has, he has the whole 300 costume. He has the
Nice.
the bow and arrow from some movie, possibly Rambo. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
He has like the shield from 300. Oh my god.
Yeah, see, keep going.
No.
Because I'm seeing your face. You're like, oh my god,
No,
exactly.
but
This is what I'm talking about.
But it doesn't take.
I think it's more about like the amount of space it takes. Up.
Yeah,
Like,
like, and
it's
like that's what he was like. Oh, I'm gonna come. He said upstairs. I'm like, okay, we to fill your basement. Like, and he will, and that's fine. I mean, if we buy a house, I'm sure it's gonna be like a whole memorabilia room, and that's awesome. It's fine, but like he can separate it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he knows he can pay his bills and balance his checkbook, and sometimes I think he has like a little like women do, like impulse buys, like I really need this bag or I really need these shoes. So like when he bought the ColecoVision, he was like, I need it.
Artist Alley at Comic-Con is literally just one big impulse buy.
I still have posters here from Comic-Con that I haven't hung.
Yeah, I have so
So,
many.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well, so that's the thing, is it's like you need to be able to separate it. It's like
Right.
it's not like having like a Batman poster on your wall that makes you quote unquote like undateable or whatever. It's
Right.
like it's and like on the other end, you can't blame that for why you can't like be with someone.
Well,
you
unless
know?
she says it.
Right. I mean, if she says it, fuck her. You don't want to be with her anyway. But it's like, I think as long as you can step up to the plate when necessary,
Absolutely.
like it's like if you're capable of like saving up money so you can buy like the next big piece of memorabilia or whatever, you should also be capable of saving up to buy a house. Capable of saving up, like
Right.
like it's So yeah, no, definitely, child at heart with man-child tendencies, perhaps, possibly.
No,
Sometimes.
I didn't want you guys to hold back. I wanted you guys to be honest because I do take that into account when trying to search for someone. Because like again, I said, there's more non-geek girls out there, and I don't want to rule them out because they could be they can balance me out, as opposed to just going for a geek girl.
Right.
And yeah, we're into all the same shit, but like she could be whack.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
And in fact, she probably is.
damn.
I don't know. Geek girls they'd stress me out. I mean,
They stress me out. But no, so yeah, so I worry about that sometimes, because my room is pretty crazy. But
it's really not that bad.
so yeah. All right. So that is it. Yes, Jennifer is
So right.
smiling from ear to ear because she can finally eat.
Woo.
So, thank you for listening to us on Podbean, iTunes, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, and
Google Play Music.
please rate, review, like, and subscribe to us on any of the devices that you listen to. So, ladies and men out there, would you what's going on? Are you a kid at heart, or are you a man-child, woman-child? Do you have the same worries that I do, that you're not going to find somebody because you feel that you have all this memorabilia around and you're freaking rocking My Little Pony? Are you a brony? Are you a brony out there? Or do you feel that you're not going to be able to find a chick because you're a brony? Yeah, well, like, what's going on? Write to us. I don't know why Bridget is cracking up right now, but
Ladies? All the ladies.
you go to us at bedlovebeyond@gmail.com. You can write to us, or you can go to our website for many more articles that I have read at www.bedlovebeyond.com. You can give us a call or text us at 201-862-8BED. That is 201-862-8233. You can hit us up on Facebook, www.facebook.com/bedlovebeyond, and you can follow us at bedlovebeyond on Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, and YouTube. Thank you, Brigid, for coming on again.
Thank you.
It was amazing, and thank you for your input.
You're welcome back anytime.
Yes,
Yay.
and seriously, I hope everything works out with Zugai.
I will let you know.
All right, so I'm Martini.
I'm Jennifer.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.